formally inducting our honorees into the West Allegheny Athletic Hall of Fame. I would ask President Joe Hustover to come up after the presentations and share with me in presenting the award plaques to our 2020 inductees. Many times when we see the names of star-winning football teams and their stars, they are usually a quarterback, a running back, or a wide receiver. Our next inductee dispels that myth big time. Emmanuel F. Davis Jr., aka C.J. Davis, a 2005 graduate of West Allegheny, was one of the Indians' most prolific linemen on both sides of the line to play on the West Allegheny gridiron and opposing gridirons. You might say C.J.'s illustrious football prowess started at 8 years of age when he played for the U.S. Army Youth Services in Bamberg, Germany, where his dad was stationed with the U.S. Army. His dad remembers him as a starter from day one. From there, it was on to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, playing in the Pop Warner League, and then as a starter in junior high at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. From there, his dad was reassigned to the U.S. Army facility in Oakdale. Shortly after his family's arrival, Coach Bob Pelko made a visit.
Sure did.
And you might say the rest is history.
That's right.
When he played his first game for WA, this announcer and many others were asking the question, where did Bobby get that kid? Well, this kid was a starter in his sophomore, junior, and senior years, and a leader in those yards as an integral part of the team making the WPIL playoffs, capping it off in his senior year as the Indians made it to the WPIL semifinals with an 11-1 record. His extraordinary high school career would result in many accolades bestowed upon him that included, but not limited to, all-conference, offense and defense, super prep, all-Northwest team, selected to play in the Big 33 game, Pittsburgh Tribune all-class AAA team, named first team Class AAA All-State offensive lineman after compiling 50 tackles, 11 for loss, and 4 sacks. At the end of his senior year, he was ranked 22nd best prospect by Super Prep, 34th best prospect by Rivals.com, and 46th best prospect by Scout.com. From there, CJ would get many college football scholarship offers, but settled on the University of Pittsburgh, where he would start his last 6 games as a freshman and solidify his role as a starting left guard throughout the rest of his college career. From there, he would continue his football career as a pro, signing as an interior lineman with the Carolina Panthers, then the Denver Broncos, and the Seattle Seahawks. Quite an accomplishment for a kid who started his football career as a young boy at age 8, and you might say, kept the faith.
Kept the faith.
CJ is married to his wife, Danella, and they have a lovely daughter, Viviana, just 1.5 years old. Both who I believe could not be here tonight, but with him tonight is his supporting family members, Mother Diana, Father Emmanuel Sr., Grandmother Matilda, and Aunt Brenda. And if I missed anyone, CJ can certainly correct me. Can we get everyone?
Yes.
Very good. CJ now works as Director of Performances at AMDG Sports Performances and is currently finishing his master's degree, and this is kinesiology, I believe is what they call it, at A.T. Still University in Mesa, Arizona. A degree that I will let CJ talk more about and maybe pronounce it, make it correctly. CJ was nominated by his father, Emmanuel F. Davis Sr., and Dan Smith, retired school principal. Mr. Davis, reflecting on the positive effect that his family and CJ's time spent at West Allegheny, holding special memories in their hearts, and how Coach Pelko and Coach Cornell and others helped mold this young athlete in the fundamentals of sports and life itself. And Dan Smith would comment about CJ's academic drive and involvement in school and community as a respectable young man. Congratulations, Mr. C.J. Davis. Please come forward to accept this award.
Yeah.
Induction into the West Allegheny Athletic Hall of Fame.
Way to go, son. Way to go. Way to go. Way to go.
Man.
Wow. Wow.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Strap father.
It's okay. It's okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
I know I'm emotional. Thank you. Thank you. I want to first I just want to say thank you to the West Allegheny Committee for just considering me, considering me and having me out, and just communicate. Some of you guys may not know I'm over in across Arizona now, so it took a lot of communications trying to get me here the last couple of years, especially with the pandemic and the birth of my daughter. So I just thank you guys for working with me. I also want to thank, first and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for him, none of this even happens.
Beautiful.
Give him the glory.
Yes.
Yes.
Second, I want to thank my family, Mom Dukes, I love you. Thank my dad, my grandmother, my Aunt Brenda. Obviously, I got other family. My sister's not here. Thank you guys for, just being with me. Always being with me and always encouraging me and showing me by your works, right? And showing me by example how to be a man that God really wanted me to be.
Good.
Thank you for that. I see the sacrifice you made, and I know it didn't stick out the gate, but
Sorry.
over time,
Yes.
Got it.
things started to click. And,
Yes.
I thank you for that. I want to thank. Next, I want to thank is I want to thank my wife.
Yes.
She's not here. A lot of you guys, some of you guys have met her. My wife Daniela.
Yes.
My little chubba hut, Viviana. They're responsible for what you guys see right now.
Yes, they are.
They deal with me and they deal with my hard-headedness and all my little ideas and all my little quirks. They're there for me, and that's my little family out in Arizona. So I want to thank them as well. Next, I want to thank is my teammates, all my boys back there.
Woohoo!
First came to West. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It was hard. It was hard, As you heard, my dad was in the Army, and we moved around a lot. We moved around a lot, and like every 3 years, it seemed like I make this great friend, and all of a sudden, Dad would come home and be like, "Hey, we gotta go." And it was hard, So when I came to West A, I think I kind of had a guard up, Didn't really want to give myself, And first person I met was Steve Cooney, and did not shortly after Dorn and Chris, and you guys took me in.
He gonna make me cry.
I got a lot more people to thank, but I'm gonna stay on this for a second. Because, a lot of people see the finished product. A lot of people see the Pitt Panthers, and the NFL accolades and see me in the suit, you know, looking all, trying to look all good. But those guys, man, those guys are the ones that, you know, stuck with me. You know, those are the ones that drug me out of bed when I didn't want to wake up. Those are the guys that, you know, they were always there. And as you can see, they're here tonight.
Yes.
And, you know, now that we're all adults, you know, life is hard, man. You know, life is, you know, everybody's busy. Everybody's trying to, you know, take care of their families. And you guys figure out a way to be here again for me. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Next I want to thank is the coaches. Yeah, I want to thank the coaches, man. I know I'm probably going to leave somebody out, but I know Coach Davis is here, Coach Cornell, I know you're here, and last but, you know, certainly not least, I know Bobby P, man. I love you, man. I love you, man. You know, when I first, man, I remember when he did come up to my doorstep, and the one thing about Bobby, man, is he knew how to connect with me, you know? He knew how to connect with everybody, and it was kind of crazy because of how many kids we had. It's unreal. But he knew how to connect with me. It was almost like he knew what I was thinking a lot of times. And when I first came here, we were talking last night. I was like, yeah, I was shy. I didn't want to be here. You know, it was a big change. You know, he saw something in me from day one, and a lot of the things that he saw in me, the things my dad were already trying to instill into me. But you know, sometimes with kids, you know, it takes that reiteration. It takes that other person to come along and to pretty much say the same blueprint, show the same blueprint. And he always believed in me, you know? He's always been there for me. And I can't thank him enough. You know, it just brings, you know, he probably don't remember, but a lot of guys, West Day, you know, we play both ways, so summer conditioning was real. Bro, it was real, you know, and you got my legs, you know, I'm not a runner. So, you know, one day we were on the track. It's probably, I think it was my first workout as a sophomore, and we're running 400s. And I'm way behind the pack. I'm literally like, man, I came to Pittsburgh for this. This is what I'm thinking, like, good God, like, this is, man, I ain't signed up for this. But anyways, you know, so I'm finishing up, you know, I'm just kind of like trudging along. Then I hear these little footsteps coming behind me. And it's Coach Powell. You know, he wasn't even out there to begin for the workouts, but somehow, some way, he just found himself on the track. And he comes up behind me. He pretty much like helps me finish the 400. And all the while he's talking to me, he's just pretty much telling me what it's going to take. You know, he's telling me, like, you know, it's not going to be easy, not going to give you anything. You know, but the way the way that you continue to finish right now, you know, this is what it's going to take. You know, and and you know, when I finish, you know, he's just, you know, he'll just sit there and, you know, look you in the eyes. I feel like he always gave this little eye test. You know, he would look at you and just almost like he's looking right into your soul. He'd do it a lot of times before the games. I felt like, I remember like it was yesterday. And man, it seems like a very insignificant story possibly, but you don't understand what that did for me there. That right there was, you know, I never had a coach, you know, pretty much, you know, show me what you had to do. versus just kind of, expecting you to do it and man, it's a lot of things I can talk about, Fast forward to my Pitt career. I started as a freshman, and my second year ended up starting again. But those first 2 seasons we didn't do too well. So the third year we had a strength coach come in named Buddy Morris. And the crazy thing is nowadays me and Buddy are actually really good friends and we have a lot of respect for each other. But I think at the time I was kind of starting to smell myself a little bit, and started to get away from really what was instilled in me here, as far as just, like you said yesterday, it's simple, man. It's simple, But so anyways, Buddy is killing me, killing me in conditioning. I'm like, yo, man, I'm embarrassed because I'm a starter. I'm like, I don't know, things were just not going right. I kind of wanted to leave. And, so I go back to West Day. Coach Park's there, and he brings the hits at home. He's like, hey, you started your freshman year. You weren't supposed to, though. I was like, yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. That was an opportunity, And then he talks about, what do you expect? You've always struggled with running. Yeah, man, that's what it is. He's like, it's not about how it looks. It's about what's going on inside, man. And I thank you for always being there for me, man. Like, always being there for me. And that little story right there, like I said, you see the pit, you see the stuff. You don't see the stuff behind the scenes, struggling. And last but not least, being in the league. NFL's a tough place to try to make a living. So, after I got released from Carolina, after I tore my PCL, I kind of just, disappeared a little bit, kind of went in my cave a little bit. And I remember I came back to West Day after a while. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I've been, struggling a little bit. He's like, I know you've been struggling. He was like, but he always reminded me about, what the goal was. And the goal wasn't football. The goal wasn't football. The goal was always excellence, as far as your lifestyle, how you live, how you treat people. Excellence as far as integrity, about how you saw yourself. And it was about relationships. That's what this whole thing is about. This whole thing's about relationships. That's the only reason why we're here right now, because if the relationships weren't there, nobody would have that urge to get on a plane and come all the way here, to be here with all of you guys. So, Bobby, man, I love you, man. I love to see what you're doing. I know you're at Mount Lebanon now. I love to see what you're doing, man. I wish you the best. Thank you for those times. Thank you for making my world at that time seem like it was the only thing in the world, So I thank you for that. Thank you for that, man. Thanks, Bobby. The last thing I just want to say to everybody, even like the inductees tonight, I give you my, I applaud you. I applaud you. It's definitely not an accomplishment to. It's not a small accomplishment, especially just being in high school and figuring out how to become a young man and a young woman. I applaud you. Thank you all for having me. I'm honored to be here. I love West Day. It always have a special place in my heart. The city took me in. The city took me in, and I'm proud to be able to be acknowledged for the rest of the time. And you have my word that I will continue to be a point of reference of excellence and integrity, and keep them relationships up. Love you guys.